persistent charity. And then you're ready to go down the road of matrimony. When you've learned to appreciate rhubarb and strawberry together, then you have something. Matrimony is the rule in Lake Wobegon. It's the great test of character, to live in close quarters with your best informed critic. Live cheek to jowl, literally, with someone who's seen you at your worst. Your enemies may not like you, but they avoid you, and so they don't know that much about you. Whereas this person who you're with knows everything about you, and yet through persistent kindness, this person stays with you. And people go down that road. They keep going down that road. Even seeing all the wrecked cars in the ditches. They still go. And they stay married for 8, 9, 10, 12 years sometimes. It's an amazing thing. Or even longer at times. There was a wedding in Lake Wobegon a week ago Saturday, and Pastor Liz officiated. Jeannie Sorensen, who grew up in Lake Wobegon, and she had gone off to a Lutheran college, and then she went to work at a summer camp called the Blessed Shelter of the Transfiguration, which we assumed was Catholic, but it turns out it was the only clothing-optional Lutheran Bible camp in America. And it was operated in California, of course, by the Rainbow Synod of the Lutheran Church, which doesn't hold with everything in the Nicene Creed. When you recite the Creed on Sunday morning, you just leave out the parts you don't like, if you're not that far along on your faith journey. And they believe in a higher power, and they believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows, and so forth, and that this divine power is within us, so we contain divinity. And so if you do something good for yourself, like have a really good meal, it's a religious act. It's a wonderful theology. The Church of the Brunch. So Jeannie had met this guy at the Blessed Shelter of the Transfiguration, which is a camp in California, which is financed by a couple of old hippies who earned a great deal of money through veterinary aromatherapy. And they came to Pastor Liz, and they wanted to be married, and they wanted it to be their own kind of wedding. They wanted to have drumming, first of all. They wanted to have liturgical dancing, and they wanted to have a horse involved in the ceremony. Pastor Liz looked at them, and she could see that they were intoxicated with each other. There had never been a harsh word between the two of them. They were utterly, absolutely in love. There was never any conflict between them. And Pastor Liz thought it was her bounden duty to provide some. She said, the drumming is okay for the party afterward, and the dancing as well, and you're not going to ride a horse up the steps of the Lutheran Church to show your unity with other species. You can do that out in the parking lot. And the vows that you've written are much too long and pledge you to do things that you cannot do, such as understand each other. You can't. You'll never be able to keep that. She's a traditionalist, Pastor Liz. She preaches the gospel on Sunday, knowing that we can't live up to it. And yet, here it is, and it's our standard. Last Sunday, The text in the church was Jesus' commandment to love your neighbor as yourselves, which is theoretically good, and in a big city may even be possible. But in a town where you know your neighbors so well, is not possible. Your only hope is to just do unto them what you wish they would do to you and know they won't before they get around to doing the dirty deeds you know they would like to do. So, the wedding took place according to the old tradition, to have and to hold, to love and to honor, in sickness and in health, rich or poor, till death us do part. And there it stood. They just had to make the best of it, that's all. It may be a vow that you're unable to keep, but at least you know that you didn't. And that's the purpose of tradition, to show us where we are, where we're situated in the world. You learn a lot growing up in a small town. You learn a lot of common sense things. You learn that tall people cannot count on short people to remove the things that we might bump our heads on. You have to do that yourself. You learn that past the age of 18, if you want to have a wonderful birthday party, you have to give it yourself. You learn that there is only so much you can do, but you must do that much. And once you do that much, you will find out there's a little bit more that you can do, and you should do that too. You learn that the rules of getting along in this world are the same as the rules of living in a lifeboat on the open sea for long periods of time. No sudden moves. Give the other person a lot of room. Keep all dark thoughts to yourself. Never talk about the relationship. Never, ever talk about the relationship with anybody, especially the other person involved. And never use the word relationship. Either it's a friendship, or it's a romance, or you're married, or you're related to each other, or you're in business, or you're neighbors, or you wish you didn't know each other. Take good care of your friends, because there will come a time when you are not of much use to anybody. And there is no reason to like you except out of long-standing habit. And then you will need them. Whatever secret you are hiding, this will eventually come out. You can count on it. Everybody will find out about it. And so now is the time to think of a good story, so that even if you are scandalous, you can be interesting. You learn these things in a small town. Small practical things. Keep a dish by your back door. And when you come home after work, put your wallet, your car keys, your glasses, your cell phone in the dish. And with the time that you save, not looking for them, you'll be able to write War and Peace. Do the greatest things you can ever imagine doing. So many benefits to a small town, and one of the beauties of the small town is the chance to sing with other people, and that's what we come to right now. This is our intermission. You were wondering, and that's what it is. We do a standing intermission at our show. You can stand if you all would ease up, and those who would like to drift off to the side and off to the back, and wherever you'd like to go, whatever you need to do. And the rest of us could stand and sing under the open sky. You just don't get the chance to do this as often as you think you might or wish that you would. And if those who, yes, I see you're already doing it. If you all face this way, then we're singing to each other. And we'll see what sort of acoustic we have in the Starlight Theater. Let's sing Oh Beautiful for Spacious Skies, Amber Waves of Grain. I can't really hear the piano, I'm so sorry, but just give us a note and we'll sing it a cappella.